What's up, Buttercup? I've started the video already and I'm just going to kind of talk over it, narrate it, but the build that we are watching right now is a build I did for Mother's Day. I want to make a bed and breakfast, so grab your coffees or teas or water, whatever you're drinking, juice, and let's caffeinate and conversate while we watch this video. So right now I am just doing the base of the build. It is a Victorian style-esque build that we were going for. It's one of my absolute favorite styles. And yeah, we're just kind of plugging along. I had a really difficult time with the roof, so you may notice it kind of jumped a little bit there. It's because I recorded that for like hours and I didn't find it would be something that was really entertaining for you guys, and I'm not really a tutorial style, what do you call it? I'm not a vlogger, what is this? I'm not a channel that is about tutorials. Just because I'm kind of learning as well, and I feel like there's so many people who offer some really good tutorials on things. Like Kate Emerald always teaches me how to do roofing, and who else? James Turner has a lot of really good ones, and another gentleman as well that I follow. He used to go under the handle Luigi Rules, but now I can't remember his handle. I'll try to figure that out. But yeah, I watch them when I really want to find out like how to do certain things. But for my channel, I kind of wanted to just be more fun, like you kind of are coming along on this adventure with me. And yeah, we're just gonna learn how to build together and hopefully inspire each other too, because like I love Sims builds. Like I spend hours on these. I also spend a lot of time making Sims as well, and then actually playing the game. I find I don't actually do that much, but I've been trying. I actually have my own storyline that I'm working on for like a Let's Play. I've got some really fun little stories going on. One in particular that kind of links to a whole bunch of other ones, which is fun. This build's actually going to be for that. It's going to be owned by a family, and yeah, there's going to be a storyline that intersects with another storyline that I'm doing for the Hobbit hut that will be uploaded tomorrow. So this video is going to be up on, well, today. Today is, what is today? Today is Tuesday, I believe. Who cares anymore? And then tomorrow I'm doing a Hobbit hut upload. And the families who live in each of the homes are somehow connected, and you guys will see soon. But yeah, anyways, I'm not so great at stories, but I am definitely trying. And then also, I started doing a storyline for my own personal gameplay I made myself. And my sim self is thriving, if you're curious. Just, I know you're wondering, and he's doing well. One sec. That's just coffee, I'm not sipping tea, it's the truth. But yeah, I'm really excited. He's done well. He has a whole family, which is my dream. Who did he end up with? I ended up getting him to marry one of the Sims who I can't remember what his name is. I ended up changing his name. I can't remember. It was like an AJ or something like that. No, was it AJ? I can't remember. Anyways, he was like non-committal and all those things, but he actually wasn't. Like when I approached the character, I think he made I started it, and then he ended up making like a lot of moves, and then he ended up being like a really good father to the characters in my game, which I thought was funny. Oh, sorry, I should talk about the build a little bit. Okay, so, you know, windows and like walls, and like we're putting up some wallpaper, and like, ooh, we shifted a window there, and like, boom, boom, magic. Okay, so we're done. We covered that. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm just doing the exterior. What I love about, sorry, I'm gonna jump back to like the story about me in just a second. Don't you worry. But what I love about builds like this, the Victorian styles, they just use such beautiful colors and textures. Like I love the shingles that they use and like the contrasting colors that they like to kind of put on these builds, and cedar and stuff like that. So I had a lot of fun. I'd probably do this build again. Well, not this specific build, but if I were to do, like for example, my dream house, it would probably be Victorian style, and then industrial inside. Like, I love exteriors to have that like old heritage vibe to it, and then the interior to be like really artsy and like fun. One of the rooms in here, my absolute favorite, is an industrial room, and I hope you guys enjoy that room. I would say it's my favorite of all the rooms that I did here, but they were all very different. I wanted to make sure that everything had its own kind of niche, and that whoever was staying in this, I don't know if I did say, this is a bed and breakfast. I hope I did. This is a Mother's Day bed and breakfast. That's why I created this video. Anyways, everything has its own niche, but yeah. Patio is also, I can't, it's either the patio or the industrial room that were my favorite parts of this build. I also really like the exterior, like with the daisies and stuff, and like, you'll see, it gets pretty. I definitely could have added more, but I spent like 3 days on this build, and I was kind of over it by the end. Like, I still had fun, and that's the point of doing these videos, is to have fun and to explore the game and enjoy it together, and I absolutely did. But I'm also one of those people who likes to jump from project to project, and unfortunately when you're trying to give yourself a schedule and you do like a big build, sometimes you kind of lose the enjoyment. So I'm gonna have to figure out balance there. Maybe I should do like a smaller build. I kind of want to do a whole bunch of videos and just have them ready, and then sit in on like a bigger build and like really enjoy it and have that for like a later schedule. So I might try to do that, but it doesn't matter. Right now, honestly, I'm just like doing this for fun. It's giving me something to do and like somewhere to put my energy in this whole kind of craziness that's going on. And yeah, also I'm a bartender, so I shouldn't be, oh, I should turn this phone off actually. I shouldn't be working right now just because of everything that's going on, and so I'm not. And I just have a lot more free time to like work on art and stuff like that, which has been really lovely, but also, yeah, I miss being at work. And also, obviously, it's not lovely given what the world's going through and what's happening to a lot of people, and I just want to make sure that that part of what I'm saying is clear. Anyways, I'm sure you knew that. But just in case, I just want to let everybody know that, you know, it's a tough time. None of us know how to deal with it, and yeah, we're moving past that. So back to me. The storyline that I was doing with me, my sim is thriving. I think, what is the character's name? I think it starts with a J or something like that. Huntington? I think his last name's Huntington. Anyways, he was the sweetest one. I also didn't really follow the lore before I started the game, and I ended up like making friends with one of the land grabs who aged up to the same age as my sim, so I didn't even know that he was younger. And then I found out he was a terrible person, and I was like, no. And then Jay Huntington, I think that's his name, ended up being like awesome. And he is such a good dad. He's better than my sim is. My sim's so emotional, which is so accurate. But yeah, anyways, it was fun. Oh, okay, so this is also another room that I really enjoyed. And you guys might be like, oh, this room looks like pretty nutty. This room that I am working on, well, both of these rooms, one of them I want to go like more clean, contemporary, like oak woods, cute metals, like really simple, lots of like greenery as well. It reminds me of a cafe here in Vancouver that I really enjoy. But then on the other side of this bathroom, there is a really funky, eclectic, kind of hipster style, almost like Luke's Diner sort of vibe we were going for. So I wanted to get two entities, two different styles that I actually really enjoy, because you are allowed to enjoy more than one style. And yeah, so I mean, this is a little bit much, but I wanted to kind of cater to lots of different types of sim characters. Maybe you're coming in here and you have a sim that's a little bit more eclectic, like myself sometimes, and they want something that feels a little bit more homey and lived in and artsy, so they can go to that side. Or maybe they want something that's a little bit more calm, so they can kind of focus a little bit better. So I created that more like clean contemporary side as well. But yeah, I don't know, I really enjoy how honestly this whole floor I was really proud of, like this kind of cafe style thing. I also realized I didn't talk about the kitchen at all, and we also sped past that because I accidentally stopped filming that part of it. But yeah, I don't know, the kitchen has like a lot of colors that I personally really enjoy and think is really pretty. And then also that gate, you can lock it, like you could there's a mod you can get to make this actually function as a kind of hotel where you can have like staff and you can have people check in their rooms and stuff like that. I've not downloaded that, but I designed this with that kind of in mind. I've never tried it, so it might not even work. Hopefully it would. But alternatively to that, if you don't want to use mods, you could make this work still. You just have to kind of like create parties. You'd have to lock certain rooms and only make them available to your family until like you do have a guest that you invite over. And then I do have a register, so I think you can charge people for things and do like an at-home business. I don't know. Honestly, this build was more so built just as like a fun, cute idea. It wasn't necessarily created for functionality, but I hope that some of you are able to make it work for that. Anyways, I'm really proud of this build. It took me forever, but I put the time in and I did it over a couple days. I could have put one more day into it and like really fine-tuned it and finessed it. Maybe like, I find art really hard, which is funny because I do art, but like putting art in this game on like walls and making walls like visually like enticing. Like I want to create a focal point, so I keep some walls bare like I would in my real house. But like in The Sims, for some reason, especially with like really tall ceilings, it just seems like it's like missing something. So I don't know. I struggle with that and roofs, which everyone can probably agree with. I mean, they clip so much. Like even if you're good at roofs, like you're still gonna get clipping. Like I spent hours on the roof and I still have clipping in some of the units upstairs, and I just kind of cover them up. And even with filming, I didn't realize there was a clipping in one of the top corners, one of my favorite rooms actually, so that was frustrating, but you'll see it, whatever. I'm human. I also really like this little cupcake factory sort of thing. I could have spent more time on this and kind of created a different element, but I like how it turned out. It kind of reminds me of the Starbucks Reserve in Seattle. Again, I'm from Vancouver, Canada, British Columbia, and Seattle is really close to us. I went for the first time and only time so far, and I just really loved the aesthetic of the Starbucks Reserve. I thought it was so cool in there. I know it's a tourist hotspot, but like, I'm guilty. It was enjoyable. Sue me. And yeah, I went with that aesthetic there. The bathrooms, I honestly didn't put too much effort in, which is why I sped past. The bathrooms, honestly, I just wanted like stereotypical, clean cafe bathrooms. I don't know. I don't know what you want there. I spend time on bathrooms that I find are like more homey, or like I really want to kind of emulate the character of the space that they're in. And those ones, like, it's a commercial space, so I just didn't put the time in. Okay, perfect. So now we're going into this little section here. We're switching out that table. I actually had my cousin help me pick the table here because I wasn't sure how I was feeling about that one. I did like it. I like the wood elements, but this one, just beautiful. I love that table. Oh, I also forgot to talk about what's happening in this room. So this is a sunroom. I wanted it to be like a recreational room. And then the doors, I wanted it to look kind of like glass bifold doors. I was really, really excited about how those turned out. But if you are curious, because I mean, if you don't know what a bifold door looks like, or you're not really sure what I was doing there, that's what I was trying to emulate. I'm really happy with how those came out. I think they're cool looking, but obviously not functional. And then I also struggled with that room as well because it was trying to bring in exterior products, but somehow I ended up fixing that. I think, I'm trying to remember how I ended up fixing that in the end, because when you bring exterior elements to an interior of a build, it'll bring in things like your exterior molding, your trimming, and I honestly couldn't remember how I fixed that. I'm sure there's a tutorial for that, but now that I'm looking back, I can't remember. And it wasn't footage I felt like you guys needed to see because I didn't execute it in the cleanest way, and it was just confusing to watch back, so I sped past that. But I did struggle with this room quite a bit, and I was not going to redo the build, so I made it work somehow. It just took some finessing. Alright, now we are working on our build upstairs, so I'm excited about this one. Where did we end up going with this one? Okay, so this one is going to be a little bit more of a like beach setting, something really clean and fresh. So I'm really liking this one as well. I'm curious to know which one is your favorite room, if you have any, and which one you guys would stay in if you were going to stay at this bed and breakfast, which was renovated, of course, by the family so that they could bring in different elements and kind of cater to larger crowds, which is why every room's kind of different. But yeah, played around with the doors a little bit there. I wish they made more of these barn doors. So these barn doors are probably my absolute favorite. One, they're really good for space, and two, they're just so cool. Like if I were to build something for myself, I would definitely have a barn door. But I don't know how I feel about the pattern on that door. I make it work in a lot of this build, but it's not one of my favorite textures for a door. It's not very versatile unless you are, of course, doing an island build. But I try to make it work to the best I can. I also feel like I segued there a lot. I also went downstairs because I found a painting I was looking for quite a while in that build, and it worked out quite nicely. But yeah, that one's kind of like more boho, beachy, clean. I also did another room, so you see that purple room just off camera. I will put screenshots of that one. That was kind of a tester room for me just to make sure spacing was going to work out, and then I accidentally forgot to film it. So yeah, I could have refilmed it. I could have gone back and done something, I guess, but I felt like it would have been out of place. It would have been hard to throw that into the build. I also really love that rug I just threw down. It's one of my favorite rugs. One of my favorite rugs. I have a couple that I really enjoy. I really also like doing this kind of faux fireplace, so my thought process behind this was it was an old fireplace that they ended up just boarding up, so they put in those slats to board it up, and it's no longer functional, and then they got rid of the actual chimney part. Sorry about that. My camera died. So we're gonna go back into this. Yeah, we're just in the fireplace part, so we're just speeding on by that. But yeah, I do really like the idea of like a faux fireplace and then throwing some candles in there to kind of brighten it up. And then some art. Oh, I love coffee. Honestly, it's what gets me up in the morning. Literally, like, it gets me up. So good. I put maple syrup in my coffee and almond milk. It seems to be my new thing. I know, very Canadian, but I was getting tired of like honey and stuff like that and vanilla. So I tried maple syrup and it's delicious. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's super Canadian, I know. I also like maple bourbon. So I don't drink a lot. I am a bartender, but I definitely do have to test products every once in a while and kind of come up with concepts for drinks and things like that. So I found this one maple bourbon, and I think it's Knob Creek, and oh my god, it is so good. I have it in whiskey sours a lot. If you guys aren't familiar with what whiskey sour is, it is equal parts of sweetener and also acidity, so like a lemon typically is what you would use. So I go a little heavier on the citrus element because it is a sour. So it would be like 1 ratio of sweetener, 1 ratio of acidity, but I actually go like maybe a whole ounce of lemon juice and 3/4 of simple, maybe even half, it depends on your guest, and then 2 ounces of bourbon. And in Canada we measure everything out in ounces. I know in the States they do free pour a lot there. I don't know if they still do that. Anyways, and I don't know about the rest of the world, honestly, how they go about it, but anyways, typically that's the ratio. And then you do egg whites, which I know is really gross sounding, but it's actually delicious. You don't actually taste anything from the egg whites. What happens, you can also use pineapple, is when you shake it, you do a dry shake, and the proteins break down and they kind of create this like beautiful like froth at the top, almost like if you were to do like a latte or a cappuccino and you get that like beautiful foaminess. Same thing with a cocktail. So you do a dry shake with the egg whites, and then you do a second shake with ice. And I only put a little bit of ice because I'm only really using that to slightly dilute the drink and also chill it. And also I find if I put too much ice, it will kind of not only water it down and kind of take away from the flavors, but it will also kind of take away from the froth. Like it dilutes the breakage of the protein, I find. Anyways, Knob Creek, maple bourbon, whiskey sour, you gotta try it. And then on top you use Angostura bitters, which is like, I think like an orange citrus bitter. I should know this, but it's been a while now since I bartended because of this whole situation. And then you just put it on in like little drops, and then you take like a little stick, like a toothpick, or bamboo skewers is what we have, and then you just run it on the inside of the circle and it creates these cute little hearts. So that's my favorite drink. And then you can put like a little cherry on top. You can get so fun with those. Ugh, I miss it. Anyways, but yeah, I can only drink like one of those, and it's like a sipping drink, but it's a good one. It's a good one. And then instead of simple syrup, if you really want to like up it, you could put 1/2 ounce of maple syrup instead of 3/4 of simple syrup, because I find it's a little bit sweeter and it might overpower a bit. And yeah, just delicious. So good. But yeah, so that's my maple obsession. Okay, so let's get into where we are now. So we've jumped into our more getaway part of the build. So this one I really love just because it's so like bright and vivacious and like, I don't know, it's just like clean. You're coming in, you're kind of transported, which I think is cool. That's another rug I like. And then I got to use elements of like green and things like that. I felt like this room was like very lively. And oh, I love these little pieces. I think those are debug items. I'm pretty sure they are. And I just love them. I didn't end up using much of them, but to be honest, if I were to do a build in the future, I would definitely find spaces for those because they are so beautiful. Size down, of course, because like full size is a little bit much. And yeah, super fun. I'd also put some of those in like a fun, like themed pool or something. That would be cool, right? And then we just ended up scaling down a garbage can for that little piece there. Yeah. It's fun. Also that flower vase that I have on top of the fireplace in the other room, the one with citrus in it. It's got like oranges, lemons and stuff. Sorry, oranges, limes. I don't know. I think it's super pretty. I use that in a lot of my builds as well. I also really like that, I want to say ottoman with the white top and on the wood base. Yeah. And another thing I do a lot in my builds, you guys might notice, is I do a lot of those like wall separations for bathrooms, either partial walls, full walls, and then I play with mirrors a lot. Or sorry, windows. I play with windows a lot for those builds. There we go with that door. My favorite room. I hope you guys like this room. I'm not going to be upset if you don't, but I might take it personally. But I love this room. Oh, this is my industrial room. If you couldn't tell from the brick. Which I try not to overuse because it's my favorite type of room, as I've already stated. So when I do builds, I try to be cautious of that. You guys might not notice that because I only have a couple videos up right now, but I filmed a lot of videos and I try to change it up and do different styles just so I can kind of give something to a broader audience and I'm not just catering to one style of build. But I love this. Also, it reminds me of Claire Marshall. If you've ever watched her vlogs, and if you haven't, you absolutely have to. I'm obsessed. But her aesthetic is very much like this. Like, she had the white curtains behind her backdrop and then her bed was behind, and then she had this like beautiful, at the time I was watching it, I think it was like a royal blue couch. And then she is kind of a makeup guru, so she would put all of her makeup in like these really industrial old mailboxes and then have pre-made little what do you call those things? I don't know, tags, I guess, labels that she would make to organize. I don't know. It was stunning. I loved it. It was industrial and clean and just so manicured. It was so good. Anyways, this build, or this room in particular, was inspired by that. I didn't spend a lot of time on the bathroom here, to be honest. I hope I put a floor in there, but I might not have even put a floor in there. Come to think of it, I don't think I did. Anyways, doesn't matter. It's an industrial build. And also, this part of the build, I did put a concrete. I put the shiny concrete. I didn't notice that it had like a gloss to it, but it's really pretty. I like that. And then pops of yellow, the graffiti. I'm so glad I was able to use that as well. That was fun. And that painting I really like too. I think it's like a tapestry. I don't know. And then the rug. I also love this rug. Ooh, yes. I love a couple colors of that rug, but that red, so good. So good. And then I used the Spa Day Art Deco to give each room a different color so that when your guest came, you could be like, oh, you're in the red room or whatever. And I thought that was kind of a cute use of that item, if I do say so myself. And I do. So yeah. And then we're going in and we're throwing some flowers on each of the desks here. Also, I had to go ahead and fix the, well, you can see the curtain because it was peeking through the ceiling. And then I ended up having to do something else again to that. But I love how this ended up turning out. I'm just saying, I love this room. I'm so proud of it. This is one room I feel like I completed. Other rooms, like, I look at and I feel like, oh, I could have finessed you. I could have gone in. But I just kind of gone. And I didn't go in. But yeah. Ooh, I was playing with another element. So in Vancouver, we have this really cool bar called the Kiefer Bar. I'm really making myself sound like an alcoholic, but in truth, I'm a bartender. It's just part of the culture. I don't go out that much, but if I do, this bar in particular is really, really cool. It's called the Kiefer Bar, and it's in Chinatown. So Chinatown has some really, really cool little kind of bars and like shops and things like that. And this one bar that they have called the Kiefer bar is so cool. It's like really small. It's got like a little fire pit outside, and inside is like really dark and kind of like, I don't know how to say it, almost like vampire-esque. Like they have all these old creepy pictures of like science artifacts and stuff, and then in the bathrooms they have these like x-rays or whatever, which they had an x-ray in this because of, I want to say, Get to Work. I was going to put that in the bathroom as like a nod to the Kiefer bar. Unfortunately it didn't work in that room. I think it probably would have cut off the use of something in there, but I'm gonna use that in a future build. And you guys are gonna be like, this is a creepy washroom, why did you do this? And I'm gonna be like, y'all need to go to the Kiefer bar. It is gonna change your life. But, you know, drink responsibly, or like get a juice, I don't know. Live your best life. But live your best safe life. It's really cool. If you ever come to Vancouver, I recommend the Kiefer bar all the time. All the time. Just so cool. Okay, upstairs. We are working on the suite for the family who actually owns this place, so it is kind of smaller. I tried to put everything that I thought they would need. I've got a washroom, I've got a living room, I've got a bedroom for the kids. That is kind of separated, a little nook for them to read, and also in the hall I've done a study for them to study. So I really tried to make sure that they had everything. And then I brought a lot of the colors you see downstairs upstairs. And the reason I did that is because obviously I want it to resemble the family. I want it to seem like the family had a lot of say when it came to designing the curb appeal and the first floor of the space. So obviously those elements you see downstairs are things that they enjoy. So the mom really likes like retro style kitchens, like 50s style, and she really loves these bright vivacious colors like yellow, paradise pink, a little bit of that like mint. Yeah, I'm also trying not to say and honestly it's so difficult. I don't realize how much I say it until I film. It's like really embarrassing. But that's okay. Ooh. Sorry, segue. I'm all over the place. I'm ping-ponging around. But the Get to Work X-ray would look so good against that like mint colored tile. I'm getting ideas. I'm getting ideas for builds, and I'm feeling pretty inspired here. I hope you guys are as well. I love doing these videos just for that alone. Because when I watch these, I get inspired. Sometimes I can't even get through a whole video most times. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, they had such a brilliant idea there. They used like that rug with that chair, like done, I'm in. And I hope that you guys feel elements of that here and you're like, I could do that better. And you go in and you do it. Also, I hate this room right now. That little corner, I tried to fix it before I went into the build mode. Also this functional with that light, I'm pretty sure I tried this out. But I couldn't move it. Every time I tried to finesse it, it ended up bringing the ceiling into the room. And so I gave up. And now we have this like really awkward little room. But it worked out. It's functional, it's cute and cozy. But just from the outside more than anything, I really hate the way it looks, but whatever. This bedroom is another favorite of mine. I really, really enjoy this bedroom. I just think the color scheme went really well. I liked the shelving, which I left bare because I didn't want to put too much clutter. You know when you just use too much of the clutter and you're like, it just doesn't feel like authentic anymore. I kind of want to download my own specific custom clutter. I'm actually learning how to 3D model right now, very slowly. I just did like one tutorial where you make a donut, but I'm going to continue it and eventually make my own CC, and I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys enjoy, because I'm going to go off. I'm going to make my own clutter objects. I'm going to do recolors. I'm going to add... I did find a Smeg fridge online that I really liked, but it's from a website that like I don't know that I can trust. So I might try to do my own version and color swatches for a Smeg fridge and all the other appliances you can get, like mini fridge, and also it's a terrible name for a brand, but anyways, and microwaves and all those things. And then I also want to do KitchenAid mixing bowls. I don't know, they're just so pretty. I love the colors, and if I were to have and design a kitchen for myself, it'd be very similar to the tenants upstairs in the video, this area we're doing right now. I would have like a lot of those colors. Like I love mints and yellows and paradise pinks. So really the mom is me. I'm the mom. And I designed those selfishly, is what I'm saying here. And we're bringing in a different type of green. I do like this color green. I just find it's a little bit overpowering in a room like that. So looking at some of these, I would change things. I'd probably make the walls mainly white or off-white, maybe like a cream in that room, and then just have a feature wall of green. Kind of like I've done here, where you have the feature of blue and then other elements like the cream in there as well, and that like crisp white, which is really, really clean. And that's the kids' room, by the way, if you didn't figure that out. Also, in this family, this playthrough, it's going to be a family of 4, and I'm trying to think of the names of the characters and playing with them because they're going to be involved in the story that I come back to later. But I was thinking the mom's name is Pepper because I absolutely love that name. It's so pretty, like Pepper Potts from Iron Man. And originally I was going to have her sister's name as Caroline because I loved Caroline from Vampire Diaries. I would make her kind of similar to that, but more spunky and like art inspired. So she would be like a freelance artist in the storyline. But those names don't really go together, like Pepper and Caroline. So I was thinking Pepper, and then I also really like the name Juniper, which is another really cool bar beside Kiefer in Chinatown, by the way. Oh, no. Sorry, that bar closed down, unfortunately. A lot of places are going to be closed down after this, which is a really, really sad thought. But anyways, I'm sorry if that happened to any of you or any of your favorite spots. That really sucks. Really does. Anyways, so yeah, Juniper and Pepper, I think, are going to be the names of the mother and the sister, the aunt. And then I love the names. I also really love the name Summer and Charlie for the kids. So I might play with that too. It's got to kind of work all together. And then the father's name I was going to name Charles because, I don't know, it seems like a really traditional thing to have a name passed down. My middle name is Robert. It's also the same middle name of a lot of people in my family. And I have an uncle named Robert and like a great grandpa named Robert, so it seems to be like a trend. So I was thinking like Charles would be the father, and then the son's name would be Charlie. And then I just love the name Summer, and I would just, yeah. Oh, I don't know, I just really love that name. Summer and Pepper, I'm really happy with. And I don't know, I like all of them. Tell me what you think. Honestly, in the down bar below, I want you to tell me your favorite room, and if you like those names, if you've made it this far in the video, and yeah. I think that's enough questions I can ask you. You could really go off on the down bar. There's so many things I could ask you, but we'll stick with those two. Keep it simple. Now we are doing the exterior. I was really happy with the way I filmed that because I did like an overlay, because obviously like I don't want you to have to sit and watch me like do each individual rock. Like, you know where I'm going with this. So I did this cool overlay for the rock effect, and I'm totally going to do that in future builds that are hopefully going to be like at max 20 minutes, not 50 minutes, because these are long videos. And yeah, did the same thing with like the tiling there and planting and stuff like that, and I love the effect it had. And the gazebo, and then later on, I think it's coming now. Now we're gonna do the like little spa retreat thing. I wanted your moms to feel like they had lots of options here. They had a space that they could be recreational on the on the deck there. They also had a space that they could dine out with the tree at night. It looks so pretty. And then they had a place to kind of retreat and relax. So you've got that spa little section, and then on the other side you've got a nice little zen space. You can do some yoga, stretch. And then here we're also adding a little bit more for stretching as well. Going in on the garden space. Just kind of bring some greenery. I really love hanging plants when you come into a space. I just feel like it just transports you to a new area. Yeah. I'm trying to be able to like talk through this whole video so you're not just like zoning out, because I want this to be interesting. Obviously I want you to get inspired here, but I also don't want you to just be like sitting here like twiddling your thumbs like, when is this gonna end? Because when I watch this, because maybe it's because I already know what's gonna happen and like I can anticipate it, but like I get bored and I don't want you to get bored. But I'm hoping that since you don't know what's gonna happen in the build, that it's a little bit more interesting. I don't know, it's a process. I'm excited to be making videos, but like I'm also very like hard on myself because I don't know, it's different when it's yours. Like, this is my baby. I put so much effort in this. This build took 3 days to do. But anyways, and then to like edit it and then add like the little watermark and then individually like replace the songs and stuff. It takes so long. Okay, we're saving. Thank you for watching the video. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Enjoy this part, and we'll see you soon.
It's time to quit while we